It's Barbara again, everybody. How are you? And today we're going to be doing a review I have not done recently. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I've done too many Silkstones at all. I haven't been buying them as much as I used to be. But what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a Silkstone from the fashion model collection, the black and white tweed suit. Tweed indeed, as you will. The first thing I want to point out is new to me, though I don't know how truly new this is the box. Usually it's cream and gold, which it still is, uh, but a little bit darker gold and no flowers. This has a little bit more detailing, at least on the front of the box. And if we may, which we may, I'm going to turn the box around. And you have, as always, the portrait of the doll. Black and white tweed suit. The Barbie fashion model collection takes a new look back at timeless couture and adds a twist to create the new classics collection. Buttoned up in a sophisticated black and white tweed skirt suit, the Barbie doll is as chic as she can be. A white dotted blouse peeks out with a flirtatious bow. White black gloves, a matching handbag, and stiletto heels will complement her refined ensemble. A white straw hat tops off her dashing daytime look, allowing her rich crimson hair to add that touch of color. And of course, she wouldn't go anywhere without her classic pearl earrings. The BFMC collection features a posable silkstone body for endless posing possibilities. And they tell us at the bottom that there's no more than 10,000 of these worldwide. I don't think Integrity has yet to run a doll at the 10,000 mark. Thousands, yes. 10,000, not so much. So yeah, let's get Madame out of the box. Let's talk about her as a posable silkstone. Let's talk about her as tweed and have some conversations about that. Before I start to talk about the doll, I do want to say that it returns, it being the box, returns to traditional form with the doll being wrapped in tissue paper on the inside, uh, sealed with it's not quite a bow, but it's like wrapped, the ribbon is wrapped around Barbie fashion model, that tag being, of course, replicated on her hand. But we're not interested in her hand, we're interested in her. Her right here. So here she is, deboxed, black and white tweed, and it is certainly black and white. Um, the tweed pattern is a pretty tight tweed, and by that I mean it's not boxy. The black and white is woven pretty evenly throughout. If you want to get in a little closer, so I can show you the detailing also of the jacket. Implying double-breasted with the double set of buttons. Um, Interestingly, with a cutout, which I guess is part of their timeless take on a modern classic, instead of having that full flare out at the bottom, there's a little bit of a cutout right at the center of the jacket. And instead of being a traditional full-length jacket, the sleeves are rolled up to 3/4 length. To scroll up, she's got the bow, which they mentioned, peeking out. I will say right now, if I may put this down, that the jacket does come off. It buttons instead of hook and eye. It is, however, sewn on, and I don't want to. So there we go. Oops. I'm trying to be gentle with this in case there's a gaping hole, which there isn't. It appears to be a V-neck blouse at the top. I'm not sure if the light. See if I can turn off one of the lights or distract the light. Maybe, yeah. You might see it a little bit better now. This is a V-neck, a little bit of a V-cut. The jacket is removable. The blouse and the skirt are one piece, and they will close in the back. With buttons as well. We'll leave the jacket open for a few minutes while we go ahead and talk about the face. Interesting choices for the eye makeup. Yes, I know she's a redhead. Yes, I know you have to be careful with what you choose. They went with sea colors. Variations of sea blue, a darker blue right at the very top of the lid, a lighter blue in between, back to a darker blue at the eyelashes. She does have that catty eye. Just to take a look at the face from a looking up position now. Her eyeballs themselves are a hazel brown with just that little bit of green that you would see in, let's say, my eyes. Very little blush on her cheeks. A kissy lip, a pouty kissy lip. Very, very light. It is pink, but it's pink that's dancing with red lipstick. And her eyes are askance. Some people may have a problem with that. I don't. And of course, she does have that traditional birthmark on her side. Nice pair of pearl earrings. They're not studs. They are set in a gold square setting. And her hair has held up remarkably well, all things considered. And by that I mean it was in the box without a hairnet. This is how I usually wear my hair to work, believe it or not. I wear it in a curled up ponytail in the back. Ta-da. She is wearing black gloves. Why did I say scarf? I don't know. She's wearing black gloves, as you've already seen a few times. And then she has her shoes, which are a little bizarre. They are plastic, but they did not make the effort to put an actual gold chain on the shoes. This is painted on, molded on gold to look like a chain. It's not the actual gold chain, which is kind of weird. I mean, if it's a Silkstone, make that extra effort. And this is where the on and off starts. You have something like that with the shoes, that they don't put the chain on the shoes. You have something like the jacket is sewn closed onto the blouse, which is not something I appreciate, frankly. Here's her hat, which is straw, and it is white, as they promised. Texture-wise, I have felt more straw-y. Is that even a word? Hats before? Though I suspect because her head is mostly flat, this will fit very nicely on her head, very evenly. You don't have to stick a pin in it to keep it on, which is something that is sometimes a problem with Integrity when they do the fancier hairdos and a hat. So just keep that in mind. You have her purse. Yes, it does have gold here. This is not painted on. This is not molded on. This is actual gold here. And you have a nice handle. But instead of it being a snap or hook and eye, really, guys? Velcro on a Silkstone. Really? I mean, it's one thing to use Velcro on a lower price point doll or a doll that's meant to be more playline. This is why I was surprised, kind of happy about it. But then again, it was industry, it was Cabot, it was not a purse, it was a shirt. I was surprised, given how thin the material was, it made sense. On a purse like this, the Velcro just screams, well, we had to cut a corner somewhere, so let's do it here. Um, let's go ahead and take her off the stand. This is probably not the best doll in the world to talk about as a posable doll. Even though the arms will bend, and they bend at the wrist. They also bend at the elbow, as you can see. Part of the problem with this doll, and I probably should have done this with the black dress Silkstone, is the jacket is going to limit mobility. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her off the stand, which is tricky because the legs are somewhat stiff in this skirt. And you certainly don't want to hurt her. I'm going to take the jacket off, or at least take the jacket off enough that I can see how much posing I can do with the arm. So I did in fact decide to take a pause here because I had to remove the tag from her arm and I didn't want you guys watching me cut it. So here she is. As you can see, obviously not a made-to-move body at all. And even in that case, this arm, they do not have full posability with the ease. I'm almost afraid here to bend at this joint. As a matter of fact, I don't want to bend this joint. It's not going as easily as it should be, so I'm not going to bend that one. The wrist is fine, though. This wrist will have that brief mobility side to side. This one is much more posable for some reason. I feel a lot more comfortable moving the left arm than I do the right arm. This could be because I know. No, this is, there you go. Yeah, I don't want to force it. Her head, whoops. See, the problem is, let me move her back. Her head can swivel. It can nod, and move a little bit. This is a very good neck joint. It's not hard to move. I think because of the way this outfit fits her, it would be difficult to get her to sit. But then again, if you're a woman in this type of suit, sitting would be tricky. She does have a knee joint. But again, I wouldn't want to force. The knees do bend. They bend appropriately to sit. But in this skirt, I don't want to force it, and so I won't. She does not, however, have an ankle pivot. So don't think you can pose them too much from the knee down. And keep in mind that this is a Silkstone. And the Silkstone is going to be a heavier material. So it's going to be, and should be, a lot harder to pose. Which is not necessarily a problem. It's just that when you get her out of this ensemble and you might put her in something else, then you might be able to do more with her, but I do not want to force it. So, for the first Silkstone that I've bought in a while, this is a hard call, and I'll tell you why. All of us who were, first of all, Barbie collector, the Barbie fan club. Those of us who are members of the Barbie fan club, we have been waiting now for several months, not weeks, several months, to renew our fan club status. And they keep saying they're going to change things and they'll get back to us, and they haven't yet. So we've had our fan club status renewed, but it's weird because, they haven't brought it, they haven't added to the fan club yet, or they haven't made the changes they want to make, or they haven't figured out what those changes will be. Um, and then there's the matter that those of us in the fan club did have pre-ordering status, which we took advantage of. But even in pre-ordering her, um, we all had to wait. Many of us had to wait. I had to wait all the way into late May to get her. Some people got her in April. I was one of the people who had to wait until May. I think there are probably going to be people who are getting her in June. Those of us who went and did the original pre-order back in late winter. So that in and of itself is annoying. And then, again, the doll herself. Um, Nice looking face, nice looking doll, beautiful hair. Love the ensemble. I do love the ensemble. The suit itself, but the accessories are not Silkstone quality. Price point wise, are not where they should be. And I'm speaking again particularly to the shoes. And I'm speaking again to this purse with the Velcro closure, which annoys me. So I'm actually going to do something I don't usually do. I'm going to tell you guys that if you want to get her, try to go on eBay, go to secondary sellers, and piece her out. Get the doll, nude, and get the suit separate from the doll. If that means you don't get the hat or you don't get the purse or you don't get the shoes, that's not the end of the world. Because the shoes are not anything to cry over missing, and neither are the hat and purse. So that's it. I'm sure now Mattel's going to hate me, but oh well. I also don't want to lie to you about this. I'm not sorry I bought her, but I wouldn't buy her again. And I'm certainly not, and unless now Mattel cleans up with the fan club, I'm not going to go crazy trying to get any more of the fan club exclusives. So for me, and for Black and White Tweed, this is a maybe doll. Okay? So I will see you guys again real soon in another review. Take care. Have a good night.